section. Give it up, guys, for Mr. Irish!
I like how you made a fucking joke about accents. And then the next act up has the worst in the fucking UK. Cheers, Vince. Did you like that? You're a petty officer in the Navy. I did another gig once and the guy was going to call me a ginger and he stopped and he just went, see you next Tuesday. And I felt like I missed it out, so as soon as I heard you were a sailor, I was like, I wonder if you'll do it. Ready? Just do it the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. No, yeah, say it, just call me a ginger cunt. Everyone wants you to do it. Ready? Yeah, you're a man. Go on, 1, 2, 3.
Ginger cunt.
I love that. You know why I love that? Imagine if I was in the Navy and I outrank him. So I joined the Navy 27 years ago. You're going to love this story, right? So when you join the Navy, you find out a number of things about yourself, especially if you're from Northern Ireland. Like, I didn't know till I came to this country that I was an alcoholic. I also didn't know that we were all thick as fuck. It's a complete surprise. The phone call home to Mum was like, yeah, and we're all called Paddy. All of us. One of my mates joined the Navy about a week after me. His name is actually Paddy. His phone call home was different. He was like, Mum, in England, I'm famous. Since then, so I was in the Navy for 18 years and then I decided to, what we would call, go to the dark side. And I became an officer. So I got as far as chief, was one above him. So we're trying to figure out whether I did rank him by a fucking long way. But I do believe there's an army guy in here that it fucking had to be you in that shirt. What rank are you, sir?
Major.
Yeah, Major. You sorry?
Lieutenant Commander equivalent.
Beautiful. This story's going to be wonderful. He can't tell me off either. So when you become an officer, you go to a place called Dartmouth. And my wife, who is, English, and I've got very English kids, thought, I'm from a council estate in Belfast, and she thought, I'm going to get him a gift. I'm going to get him a wee present, a little congratulations on him, a little well done. And she bought me these shoes. Now, I want to show them to you, because I only ever wear them on stage, right? So, these aren't even shoes. So, he's laughing, he's pissing himself, because he knows what that is. That is the crest of an officer in the Royal Navy, on a pair of velvet slippers. And ladies, just so we're quite fucking clear, these are Cristiano boots. So I asked her, I said to her, I said, how much did these things cost? And she said 600 quid. Now I was so angry about that, I missed the bit where she said, per shoe. Some of my matlo mates were amazed. They were like, I didn't know Cristiano Louboutin made shoes for men. I'll give you a tip, they fucking don't. Honest to God, I only ever seen those shoes. Only ever seen them on really, really rich women in porn movies. The thing that has blown my fucking tiny mind is the most expensive present that I've ever been given, or affectionately known in my house as MILF Slippers. Honest to God. It kills me. So people have kids. I've got 3 kids. How many kids you got? You can hand straight up there. You've got 3. Which one's your favourite, big man?
Can't possibly say you love me equally.
That's a load of bollocks. I've been on this stage for 5 minutes? I already have a favourite person in this room. Pink shirt guy.
That's me. I'm not going to reject it.
Yeah, but you
I know I'm losing my head, but so are you, to be fair.
Shit, mate, if you sit on a fence, you're fucked. Major pink shirt would sit in no fences. He'd be over that fence head. That's kind of guy he is. But no, I have 3 kids. My favourite is my youngest kid, and she's my favourite because she's fucking hilarious. You know, when she was 5 years old, I got called to the school. Like I said, she's very English, very blonde, looks very much like her mum. I get to the school, a PTA thing, and I'm like, I'm Saoirse's dad. Okay, yeah, T3's dad, yeah, she's just in that class down there. And I was like, oh, T3? Is that her class? And then the teacher went bright red, because T3 happens to be her nickname. And I was like, oh, she has a nickname? And she goes, well, you know that assembly thing that kids do? My daughter was like, we want you to pretend to be someone. She's like, I'll pretend to be my dad. Well, in an English accent. And then she stands up in front of the school, she looks at the school, and she does a little poem. And the poem she did was, your ma's your dad. your dad's your dog. Your dog's fucking dead. 250 school kids. The T3 stands for teeny tiny terrorist. Oh, I brought up some good kids, me. When she turned 10, and this is one of the reasons she sort of fell off the favoritism list. When she turned 10, she wanted the TikTok. She said, Dad, can I have the TikTok? And I'm saying the TikTok because I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was like, yeah, sure, you can have the TikTok. So I downloaded the TikTok for her, and she comes in, and I was like, my wife didn't want her to have it, but I was immediately right. She came in, she goes, Dad, use the box. Shows a little move, shows the punch, and I spent 20 minutes teaching this fucking kid how to throw a good punch. And she went, sweet. And she'd been watching a TikTok. She then goes, high five, Dad. Goes to high five me, slips that fucker, punches me straight in the balls. I worked from home, I was cross-legged, one ball atop the other, it was a ball sandwich, I was fucked. I'm telling you, and all the blokes in here know you roll out the chair, I don't know why you stop being able to breathe, but that fucking happens. And then I crawled, the slowest crawl to the toilet. You get to the toilet, and you spread them wide, you want them to dangle. You don't want nothing to touch it, you just want them to dangle. It's like this. Every now and again you reach down and have a little tap just to make sure they're there. Yeah, it's still good. We're good. So 20 minutes later my wife comes back from the shops. I get up to tell her she was right about the TikTok thing. I get out of the bathroom and all I hear is, hey Mum, high five! I tried to run, it was too soon. I got to the living room and my wife is in the fetal position, and ladies, I did not know until I was 46 years old that hurts you too. She hit her right in the mummy daddy button. 15 minutes later, we are in A&E because, you know, if you punch a big old man bollocks, that's quite soft and squishy, but a fanny bone, not the same thing. And I'm having to explain to the nurse what happened, and she's like, well, how did your daughter hurt her wrist? And in my head, I'm like, she fell off her bike. She fell off her bike. Just say she fell off her bike. Like, she punched her mum in the fanny. And I shit you not, this nurse looks me straight in the eye and goes, TikTok? It's a viral video, was going around, everyone was doing it, and because I think I'm funny, I went, oh, it's a pandemic. None of the nurses laughed. Honest to God, they looked at me, it was like PTSD. Because when my third was born, my favourite was born, you know, it wasn't as aggressive, there was a little bit of terror, but basically, the baby went wee on its way out. But like, you know, it was quick. And I was like, oh, it's all about the mum. 4 nurses in that room looking at me going, she's just had a baby. And I was like, well, yeah, but if you went to a nice restaurant and had a nice meal, you wouldn't thank the oven. I could just feel myself just sitting down in the corner under the glare. And honest to God, there was a little privacy blanket across my wife's knees, and the nurse just pops her head out, forgot she was there, and she went, Mrs. McMahon, when I'm finished doing these lips, do you want me to do his? The bad drills. Okay, so anyway, I'm there, my wife's feeling uncomfortable, she goes in with the daughter, comes out, and she says, I've got some bad news. It's like, what's that? She says, no sex for 3 months. And I was like, oh, what is it? And it was deep clitoral tissue damage. I always pick on someone when I say that. You look like you feel the most awkward. I was fucking... Look at you. Can you cross anything else? And honest to God, I was fucking furious. Absolutely no sex for 3 months. That's not it. I'm in the Navy. I've not had sex for 3 months before. What I was actually angry about, I've been banging that fanny for 15 years, not so much as a fucking bruise. Honest to God, I've gone after that thing like an angry woodpecker. Nothing. And that was the day that I found out I had less punching power than a 10-year-old girl. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Lieutenant Commander Ginger Cunt Irish. Thank you very much.